Alright, no nonsense in this video then. 80% win rate strategy. Going to get right into the video and the strategy, showing you over the last 6 months how I've been getting an 80% win rate in the markets. It's been absolutely incredible, completely changed my trading and my life, to be honest. And I'm going to show you how I'm doing it. So very quickly, like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, etc. Really helps out the channel. If you do want signals and alerts for this as well, you can get them in the description below. So the strategy, basically, very simple stuff. So you've got your market, you've got your accumulation phase. The market does this all the time, where you get these areas where you accumulate, go sideways. You can see them all over the place here. You've got your level of liquidity down at this low, where people have got tons of stop losses below, like this, as you can imagine. And then what you're looking for is that very clean come down. You sweep liquidity like this. You come down at all these stop losses getting taken out, which is really what you want to be seeing. Accumulation, the manipulation down to take out all these people with their stop losses below this level. You know, there's loads of liquidity below these big key swing levels. This one down here looks particularly juicy today, by the way. If you're looking at NQ, there must be so many stop losses below this level. This would be a lovely trade, something like this. But basically what you're looking for is your accumulation, manipulation below, and then you're looking for a V-shape back to the upside. The V-shape recovery is what a lot of people have been calling it. I've seen 3 or 4 different people on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it over the past year or so talking about this strategy, showcasing their versions of it. And I decided to basically start trading it, make my own version of it. And it's been working really well for me. So you're looking for this, the V-shaped recovery. You've got your accumulation, your manipulation below, sweep liquidity, and then you've got your distribution back to the upside, which is basically where everyone gets stopped out and then the trade all goes in their favor after they get stopped out. As I've been figuring out over the past year or so, the market is basically a stop loss hunting machine. And this is something that you need to get into your head if you're thinking about the markets in a way that is going to mean that you're not going to get stopped out as much. Because the amount of times that I used to get stopped out in the past and then the trade would go in my direction, I'd just be wondering like what the hell happened. It's because I'm basically putting my stop loss exactly where the market knows that everyone's stop loss is. You'll get stopped out and then the market will go in your favor. So basically what you're looking for is your accumulation, your manipulation, your distribution. This is your V shape that you're looking for. You want to be seeing it in 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 candles max, really. Looking something like this. You want it to be quick and snappy, whether it's on the 1, 2, 3 or 5 minute. I do sometimes take 15-minute time frame trades, but they can take a little bit of a long time to play out because they're essentially swing trades at that point. But basically what you're looking for is you're looking for your lovely V-shape down and back up, and you're looking for a fair value gap like this to get inversed. Obviously, when you create a fair value gap, when you get a nice impulse to the downside, below sweeping liquidity, you create this void in the markets where there isn't many orders. And because there's not many orders here, it means the price can generally rip back through this level pretty quickly. And when you see this kind of price action, it does generally mean you can potentially get really good moves back to the upside once you've got that liquidity swept out. And inverting and coming back up above that fair value gap kind of proves to you that the market wants to go back to the upside. If people start piling in with short orders at this fair value gap like this and you start stalling out and then go down, that's generally a bad sign that obviously you're not going to get that V shape and that reverse. But you'd be amazed how many times this happens. I've actually gone back and back tested over the past 5 years or so, and you'd be incredibly amazed how often on NQ specifically, which is Nasdaq 100 futures, by the way, how often this price action happens. You'll get your accumulation, you might get a manipulation up, then a manipulation down, and then a continuation. This is one that I see all the time recently. I'll show you a few examples of it in a minute. But generally speaking, this is what you're looking for. And then very simply, you'd have your inverted fair value gap. You enter on the inversion. When it closes above, stop loss is a close back below that fair value gap. You've got your 1-for-1 target as your take profit. And then I'll have runners, which will go to about halfway up the V shape and then to the high of day, because we're at all-time highs at the minute. You'd be amazed how many times the high of day comes up and gets swept. And this is the model basically. If you hit the 1-for-1, you take half the position off, you go break even on the rest. And then if the price starts to go around and then stops you at break even, at least you've taken some profit out 1-for-1. And then you just let the rest play out. And then generally speaking, more often than not at the minute actually, my runners get hit and it's really a good time getting a 2, 3, 4 R to the upside. So I'll show you a few examples recently of this price action. The price action yesterday was actually really good. You could have got a really tasty entry, potentially on the 5 minute or any other entry. If we look at this price action here, this was absolutely textbook for what I'm talking about. You can see we came down, we manipulated through so many levels of liquidity. You could say this one or this one, but you can see we basically came down a massive, massive way. Swept out so many levels of liquidity here that have been grinding to the upside. And you can see you could have took a lot of these. There's plenty of fair value gaps here that you could have taken. This momentum to the upside going into open was absolutely crazy. There was actually one down here that I took personally, where we basically got this. If you have a look, we've obviously got this sideways manipulation with this sideways accumulation for a while, big manipulation leg down, and we actually got the second confirmation manipulation leg here. You see we came down and we consolidated, and then once we got this liquidity sweep below and then this fair value gap here, this was the one that I actually took personally. This isn't actually part of the strategy that I'm teaching here, and this is a very small fair value gap. But because I could see that we were going to reverse back around here and we got that crazy momentum, I did take that first entry. But there were plenty of other entries that you could have taken here. I know a lot of people took this 5-minute entry. You've got all these stacked accumulations basically. Where's my box? There it is. You've got all of these stacked fair value gaps here that you could combine into one. I know a lot of people that actually entered on this and just chased this to the all-time high because they knew, what is going on with my mouse? Hello? There we go. This would obviously be a really, really crazy entry, but you could have actually entered and called this your fair value gap. This is what a lot of people that I saw did. And then you could have made your risk to reward a lot better here, something like this, if we close back below this. But I saw with this crazy momentum here, we were clearly going to go to all-time highs, which was this level here. And we ripped through and continued for a really, really nice profit. This wasn't obviously a conventional textbook setup. And technically here, we didn't actually get an entry, so I didn't alert this in the Discord. But you could see the vision here was entirely there and worked out to absolute perfection. Perfect V-shape on the 5-minute. You could have potentially taken one of these inverted fair value gaps. When you saw this volume to the upside, it was pretty clear to me we were going to go to the all-time high, which was up here, as you can see. After getting that big sweep of liquidity, that textbook V-shape back to the upside, I knew that this was going to be a good momentum day. And you can see we got a really nice move to the upside. Friday wasn't as good. There wasn't really any clean setups here. You can see very clearly on the chart here, especially on the 5-minute, no obvious fair value gaps, lots of chop. Not really anything clean here, so I didn't take any trades on that day. There was a really, really good trade on Thursday. This one here was a really good one. I took this on the 30-second. You can see there was a 1-minute here, but this one wasn't very obvious and it was quite small. You can see like this. It was quite small and it would have been a loser actually if you'd have taken this, but there was a 30-second in here, which looked more like this. It was a lot bigger, a lot more obvious, and I took that 30-second. Obviously, you can see this played out. Went to my targets, and my runners went up to new all-time highs, all the way up here. Really, really banger trade as well. I mean, if you just eyeball this chart, loads and loads of these instances work out. There was one here as well. This was the Wednesday. This was when we had a pretty weird open. We came down, we got a liquidity sweep, but you can see we never really got that V-shape back up. We started chopping, we're kind of grinding to the upside, and then obviously we got Trump flapping his gums. We came down here, we got a very nice liquidity sweep. We came down and swept this really key low down here. There must be so many stop losses below this low down here, that big wick. And then you can see here, we got a lovely 3-minute entry. This one had a massive stop loss, so I actually took this half size. Because you can see this was, the sizing for this was wild. I mean, we're looking at like we're looking at 70 point stop. So it was a pretty crazy trade. So I took it half size. As you can see, it would have taken a little while to play out and hit the 1-for-1, but it did eventually. So I basically took half off at 1-for-1, put the rest to break even. And then we did come up eventually and hit my second target, which was this swing high. But then we started to go into overnight territory here. And I basically decided to close the rest because obviously holding overnight for futures is not allowed on most prop firms are not on Apex, which is what I'm trading this on. And as you can see, it worked out really nicely. Got another about a 2-to-1 R on that one as well. So really, really good trading strategy. We recently took this gold 15-minute as well, which would have been an absolute banger win. You can see here, this one was a bit more of a swing trade because it took so damn long to play out, but you can see clear area of liquidity. Very obvious fair value gap. as you can see. Inverse back to the upside, clean entry, stop loss below. If you close back below, taking it a 1-to-1. It's played out in essentially the next hour, came to a 1-to-1. The rest goes to break even. And then my targets, if you look in the private Discord, I think I had one here and then one at this swing high here, which was obviously going to go and get hit. And as you can see, we came up and hit that level. Absolute banger trade. This would have been a 1-to-5. So obviously I took half off here, another half off here, and another half off here. So probably about a 1-to-3. 3-to-1 RR overall. Absolutely amazing trade. Really, really good stuff. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to waffle on too much. But if you do want to get alerts and signals for this strategy, you can sign up in the Discord below. Every day I'm posting daily outlooks for levels to watch out for. Today's daily level for gold is this level down here. You can see there's quite a lot of liquidity down here. We've already swept this level here and we didn't really get a great reaction. So there's nothing really apart from this level down here that's obvious. If you do want to get alerts and signals, as I said, you can sign up in the description below. I'm going to stop waffling now. Like and subscribe, leave a comment. I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.